There is an important job in Valorant that no role specializes in. We have Duelists for fighting, Initiators for info gathering, Controllers for vision blocking, and Sentinels for defense. But there is one objective that decides almost every round. The spike. Planting it, defusing it, and somehow no role in Valorant designed for this job. So I created a new role that Riot should add to the game. It's called the Spiker. And to show how this role could work, I also designed 3 different agents for it. And trust me, some of these abilities could change how Spike gameplay works. The idea behind Spiker role came from a simple question: who is supposed to actually plant and defuse the spike? If you think about it, it's kinda unclear. Most players would agree that duelists shouldn't do it because their job is to entry, to fight and create space for the team. So that leaves Initiators, Controllers and Sentinel. But none of these roles are specifically designed for spike interaction. Sometimes Sentinels do it, sometimes Controllers and sometimes Initiators. And that's where the Spiker role comes in. Agents in this role would always have at least one ability that connected directly to the spike. Just like how every controller has at least one vision blocking smoke ability, every spiker would also have one spike mechanic. This could mean things like faster spike defuses or plants, silent spike interactions, abilities that control plant zones, or powers that connected to spike energy. And just like controllers, spikers would also be hybrid roles. For example, Viper is a controller Sentinel hybrid, Harbor is an Initiator controller hybrid, and Clove mixes controller with duelist elements, so spikers would work the same way. Each spiker would mix spike control with another role's playstyle. And to demonstrate this idea, I created 3 spiker agents. Each one combines the spiker role with a different role in Valorant. First up is Riot, a spiker Sentinel hybrid. Riot is a Radiant whose powers revolve around microbes and viral infections, allowing her to spread the biological corruption across the battlefield. Whenever Riot plants or defuses the spike, she infects it with her microbes. Because of this, her spike interactions are 1 second faster. Planting takes 3 seconds instead of 4, defusing takes 6 seconds instead of 7. This already gives her team a huge advantage in clutch situations. Riot can place a hidden virus trap on the ground. When an enemy walks into it, it activates and infects the enemy for 10 seconds. Infected enemies can't receive healing effect, and their spike interactions become 10% slower. So if they try to plant or defuse the spike, it will take even longer. This makes Riot incredibly powerful at stalling spike plays. Riot can infect the wall, and the infection spreads across the connected walls, covering a large area for 10 seconds. If an enemy stays too close to one of these infected walls, they get pulled by these living microbes to that wall and get stuck on that wall. They can escape by pressing F button for 1.5 seconds, but doing it will reveal their position with the sound cue. Riot throws a projectile that creates a Microbial Zone on the ground for 10 seconds. Enemies inside the zone slowly decay, but this ability behaves differently depending on the site. On attack, if the zone touches to the plant site, it extends the plantable area, giving your team more places to plant the spike. On defense, if the zone is on the plant site, that zone becomes unplantable for the enemies. This means Riot can reshape where the spike can be planted. Riot spreads her infection across the whole map. All the enemies become unable to receive healing and decay for 10 seconds. But the ultimate also affects the spike differently depending on the round. On defense, every plant site becomes unplantable for 10 seconds. On attack, every site's planting zone becomes larger, giving you more places to plant the spike. But what if the spiker agent was not that defensive, but aggressive? Let's look at the next one. Fuse is a Radiant who survived the spike explosion. Instead of dying, the dark energy of the spike fused with his body. He is a duelist spiker hybrid, built for aggressive plays around the spike. Fuse is completely immune to spike explosion damage. This means he can stay near a spike even when it's gonna explode. Perfect for saving guns and not needing to escape the explosion range. Fuse throws a ball of dark spike energy. When it lands, it charges for 1 second and then explodes with a mini spike explosion and deals 50 damage to all enemies. Fuse creates a visual spike explosion around himself. The explosion does no damage, it's just a fake visual spike explosion that also blocks vision like a black sphere. And also it gives him a combat stim for 5 seconds. This ability behaves differently depending on attack or defense. On attack, activating this ability instantly teleports Fuse to the spike's location, no matter if it's planted or not. And additionally, he becomes immune to all damage for 2 seconds. If an ally carries the spike, he teleports to that teammate. If Fuse carries the spike, he teleports nowhere, and he only gains 2 seconds of damage immunity. On defense, if spike is not planted, Fuse just gets the 2 seconds of damage immunity. But if it's planted, Fuse also teleports to that spike, no matter where he is. This ability makes Fuse incredibly dangerous on post plants and retakes. Fuse begins charging energy for 5 seconds. During this time, he cannot move or shoot. A massive danger zone appears around him. When the charging completes, Fuse releases a spike-like explosion, but only half size of any enemy caught inside the zone takes 999 damage, the exact damage that spike will do. It's basically a detonated spike controlled by a player, but the final agent takes the spike concept in a completely different direction. Vesper is a tech specialist who uses bat-shaped drones and sonar technology. Whenever Vesper plants or defuses the spike, it creates no sound cue. Enemies won't hear the usual spike interaction sounds. Vesper activates the sonar sensors for 5 seconds. Any enemy inside his hearing range who makes sound becomes revealed through walls. But if someone plants or defuses the spike, they become instantly revealed, no matter where they are. This makes it extremely powerful for tracking spike plays. Vesper throws a bat-shaped grenade. When it detonates, enemies inside the explosion becomes deafened, and a loud sound cue plays when someone is hit. Vesper opens a small tactical map, and on the map you can choose a place, and the drone flies to that location and it creates a fake sound cue depending where it is. If used on a planting site on attack, it will create a fake planting sound. If used on planted spike during defense, it will create fake defuse sound. Anywhere else, it will create fake gunfire using the same weapon sound as Vesper has. Once you activate his ultimate, Vesper opens a full tactical map and can select up to 3 locations within 5 seconds. Bat swarms fly to those locations and creates the zones for 5 seconds. Enemies inside the zone become marked and deafened. So that's spike role and 3 example agents that would fit into it. But what do you think? Should Riot actually add the spike role to Valorant? And which of these agents would you want to play most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy Valorant agent concepts like this, make sure to subscribe and check out this playlist for more agent concepts.